So throughout this month we're going to work on adaptability within our poses. So I'm going to work on lunge and the variations, and also the transition from downward dog into a lunge to begin with. If there's anything in particular that you really struggle with, then let me know below the video and we can adapt again. But the main ones are not being able to get your hands to the floor in a lunge position, and then also moving from your downward dog into your lunge position. So if you struggle to get your hands to the floor in your lunge position, we want to try and adapt that. Now, I've got a long block here, but you can use 2 single blocks so that they're more steady and more stable. Probably like cork blocks would be good because they're quite hard, so that you can actually find that grounding through the hands. So you can transition from downward dog. If you're using a block, you can bring the block to start with and come into your downward dog with the block on your hands, so you're already lifted. And then when you come through to your lunge position, you're higher so that your hands are here. You can even turn the block on its side so that you're lifted a little bit more. So sometimes we can't get all the way down to the floor in this position. That's absolutely fine. You've got to work on what is right for your body. So if you need that height there, or even having like a small stool, as long as it's steady in front of you, so you've got a bit more of a lift. We'll come out of camera there, but if you've got a bit more of a lift there, if it's too much completely, you can just bring your hands onto your thigh. So again, it's working on your own comfort for your own body and really focusing on what your body can do. Now, if you're in that lunge position and you can't get your hands to the floor, if you come down into low lunge and you can get your hands to the floor, great. If you can't, you can bring your hands back onto a higher block, or again, rising up and bringing your hands onto your thigh. So it doesn't matter entirely about bringing your hands down to the floor. It just makes the transition a little bit more difficult. So when we're in a lunge position and we're struggling from here to come back into downward dog, we can bring that block there to rise us up, then to tuck the toes under and come back into downward dog. Now, if that's not for you, you can come back onto the hands and knees to begin with, and then make your way up into your downward dog from there. So you've got to do what's right for your body. Practice those different ways of doing it. If you're still struggling to get the hands to the floor, then it might just not be for your body, and that's absolutely fine. We just adjust the moves to bring you into a higher position with the hands on the thigh, or even with a higher block there so that you can turn it up on its side. As long as you've got that stability and that sturdiness through your block, so this one's a bit soft, but you've got that connection that you can balance through there, then just find whatever works. Now, coming from a down dog into a lunge, I'm going to do it without the block just so that you can see a little bit more clearly. So we make sure that the hands are nice and grounded and the fingers are nice and spread, and pushing back and down into the heels. So from here, if we just try and come into a lunge position, we end up getting stuck and the foot gets stuck here, so we have to kind of edge it all the way forwards. So when you're in your downward dog, if you focus on your body, take a breath in, slow breath out so that you can really focus on what we're doing here. We're going to take a deep bend into both knees and push your bottom back when you do this. Bend into both knees. As you breathe in, you're going to shift your weight forwards as you draw your knee inwards so that your shoulders come over your wrists, and then we've got that momentum to bring that foot forwards. So we're going to do that again. So bend into the knees, push the bottom back and high. Inhale, draw that knee in, roll forwards as if you're coming into a lunge position, and that foot will come further forward. You might still need to help it, that's fine, but it'll give you a little bit more momentum to be able to move it through. Now we've got even more momentum when we come through a 3-leg dog, because our leg is up high and we can draw as we move forwards. We've got that height here to draw that leg all the way through. So just play around with it. If you need to come into a little 3-leg dog before you move into your lunge, even if we're in downward dog, it's your practice. Just adapt it for you. See what it fits for you, see what's right for you. Now, those are probably the main tips I have to come through into a lunge position or back into a downward dog, and with the blocks as well. If you get to that point where you think, well, actually it's still not working for me, then we can adapt the position. So there's always going to be certain positions through yoga that your body is not going to come into as well as you'd hoped, or from what you think it looks like on the other side. So just maybe if you're really struggling with, especially the lunge variations and transitions, then send me a picture. You don't have to do it in the forum, but privately, of exactly how your body looks in that position, and then I can work out from there how to adjust it for you. It's just difficult obviously over a screen, so if you just send me that picture and we can adjust it for you and then work out what you can do, so that then you're more comfortable within your practice, and when you get to that move, when we're in a full practice, then you know how to adapt it for yourself. So let's work on that adaptability this month. So anything in particular for you, then please let me know, send me a message and we'll get it sorted. Other than that, practice the variations, practice with the blocks, without the blocks, practice with the manoeuvring from one to another, the transitions, see how you get on, and I will see you soon. Lots of love.